you must go through EACC. Mr. Speaker, this deputy president was a DO. And Mr. Speaker, he was a DO. And as a DO, he was sacked on 30th July 1997 as a DO. And the reason why he was sacked, and I will table this later, that the EACC did not do its work and it cleared him to be a member of parliament and to be a deputy president, yet he was not supposed to be because of his misconduct. Mr. Speaker, this letter is read as Mr. Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua, District Officer 1, Laikipia, through Provincial Commissioner, summarily dismissal. Reference is made to our letter dated 19th May 1989 on your appointment to the position of District Officer. I and your response statements to show cause for gross misconduct, desertion of duty, and reported mismanagement of relief food for Laikipia District. These are thieves. In this regard, we wish to notify you that your employment contract has been terminated forthwith. Consequently, you are required to report to the Rift Valley Provincial Commissioner for handover and clearance. This was signed by Queen Rua. Mr. Speaker, this was a wrong man to be in this office in the first place. This one, for Kenya to grow, Gachagua must go. To stop tribalism, Gachagua must go. For Kenya to unite, Gachagua must go. I tabled the letter and I support the motion.
Some Kenyans, hello, Mr. Speaker, it is important to address this issue. Some Kenyans want us to divert attention from the impeachment that is before us. There is only one impeachment motion before us, and it's in respect of the deputy president. Now, some people have said, Kufa Makanga, Kufa Dereva. Now, let me explain to you. First of all, when you say Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga, you must remember that in that bus there are passengers. And those passengers can die if you are reckless. In this case, those passengers are Kenyans. We as parliament must navigate that issue so carefully that the passengers called Kenyans remain safe. Mr. Speaker, that is extremely important. Why? We are in a very unique position where we have a president and a deputy president, but we do not have an IBC. If anything happens right now, as we are going to, if we impeach the deputy president as we want to, as we need to, the position can be filled even without an IBC. But if there is no president and there is no deputy president, only the speaker can act for 60 days. Within those 60 days, there must be an election. We cannot currently have an election because we have no IBC. To have IBC commissioners, you need a president to nominate the board that will select them. Once the board is nominated and they propose a name, then the name must be forwarded again to us, and it's only the president who can nominate them. In other words, if you say Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga, you want absolute turmoil for all the Kenyans to die in that accident. That would be a very reckless act.
To just ask whether the word Makanga is parliamentary. I just need a clarification. The word Makanga, whether it is parliamentary language. Is the member in order to use that kind of language today?
Honorable Wamchomba. Order. Yes, Millie. Yes, Millie.
I don't know if Honorable Sunkuli has allowed me to inform you. Yes, Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to inform Honorable Sunkuli that you can use those words so long as you put in inverted commas, because you are reporting. So when it is reported, like in the case where people are talking Kufa Makanga, Kufa Dereva. Mr. Speaker, I even wanted to speak to it by saying that it is actually people saying that are crucifying the DP. By saying it should Kufa, the motion here is on the, in quote, Makanga. It's not on the Dereva. So people want to bring the motion on the Dereva in quotes, can bring, but the one we are dealing with now is on Makanga.
But for Honorable Wamchomba, language is dynamic. It's living. It grows. That's why you now find Kiswahili words in the Oxford English Dictionary. And by ordinary usage, every single Kenyan knows what Makanga means. And Sunguli was not mixing languages. He spoke in the manner like he was quoting.
Impeachment yenye nataka sahi ni ya William akiwa na Rigathi. Mimi sita support Rigathi atolewe. Yet yeye alisimama na William akaombea kura. Sahi hiyo allegation mnatuambia ati Rigathi anatumia amepata 5 billion. Mtuambie sasa tena William amepata pesa ngapi? wakati mnatuambia wakati MPs wanakuja ground kama mbunge wangu Gilel ana support motion. Atuambie hata yeye amepata pesa ngapi? Sisi kama Wakalenjin hatutatumiwa kusambaradisha nchi ya Kenya. Sisi tutasimama kama vijana tuambie William Ruto tulikupigia kura sababu tulikuwa tunataka development. Sahi tunapiga kelele.
The deputy president and the president of the Republic of Kenya are like the joint twins, and we know if they have to go, if Rigathi have to go, then also the president has to go. Yeah, he has to leave the stage. So hii maneno yote hii tunataka maneno ya ujinga na nini. We want our country to be peaceful.
I support aende nyumbani. The reason Gachagua ballot paper yake ilifika Rift Valley, ballot paper yake ilifika Western, ballot paper yake ilifika Coast, haikuwa mlima peke yake. So akiniambia mlima isikuzwe peke yake, what about other people when you are elect? So tunataka Gachagua ajue that is in position whereby presidency is a sign or symbol of a national unity. So akituambia maneno ya village, we never elected a village elder, we elected a president. So Gachagua aende ajunge village yake.
I support the motion of the impeachment of deputy president for one reason. He has taken place in coercing the business community of Nairobi city. Anaenda kuongea mambo ya Mount Kenya. Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya, all Kenyans. Everyone has right to do business in Nairobi, not only the people from Mount Kenya. So kuenda kuinsight watu wasimamishe biashara ili watu wa Mount Kenya ndio hiyo wao wanashikilia city ya Nairobi, ni kitu hatutakubali. Kitu kingine ni blackmail of the president. You are the sole supporter of the president, assistant of the president. Kuenda kupinga president ni kitu hatutakubali. So sisi tunasema tunaunga mkono Rigathi aende nyumbani.
I'm supporting the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. We cannot be having a deputy president who is talking about Milima politics. What about this guy if he becomes president? And woe unto him if he becomes it. Because let's say as Rift Valley, we won't vote for him. And only Central. This guy will not bring development to Bomet. And so that is why we support his impeachment. How can a deputy president, in only a span of 2 years, amass wealth more than 5.2 billion? This guy should go home. And that is the reason we are supporting in this motion. Thank you.
Leo nimekuja hapa nikashangaa wale walikuwa wanakuja kusimamia hii public participation na wako. Tulikuwa tumesikia MPs wanakuja kuokota masignature kwa public participation. Lakini hapa hatuna hata MP hata mmoja mwenye amekuja. Sasa tunaona yenye tunafanya hapa hatujui ni nini inaendelea. Tunaona hapa kuna ukora mingi na hiyo hatukubali. Na tena tukwambia rais kama sisi wenyeji wa Bomet. Sisi tumechoka na ile unakuja dakika 30 unaenda.
Issue of one saying I come from a certain region in disregard of other regions, then that person is actually demeaning himself from being the deputy president to a regional leader. I want them to work together. Let them go and sit. The motion should stay. Let them, the two of them, go and sit. When they want their defeated to kuongea mambo yao, wakuja sasa raia. It's too early. As an elder, it is too early.
A direct conflict of interest. That the deputy president, that the local representative of Sobika, which is an international company registered in India, is a company owned by the deputy president. And the deputy president is making a call regarding a tender to a junior government officer. I wonder how many other calls he has made. But I do not need to belabor this point because none other than the Deputy President himself did admit on live television yesterday that he did make the call. It was in relation to the bid bond, and therefore I urge members to adopt the evidence of Dr. Andrew Mulwa as the truthful and factual evidence, exhibiting that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua did interfere with the tendering process and also did interfere with the investigation into the same. His Excellency the Deputy President did inform the country falsely that no money was lost. Mr. Speaker, you would know that this tender was funded under the Global Fund. And the Global Fund, through letters that we have exhibited, did cancel this funding. And therefore, the Kenyan people lost up to 5 billion Kenya shillings and as well a relationship with the Global Fund, which is a major partner in our health sector. And therefore, to allege that no money was lost is false, because the Global Fund did cancel the tender, and also it affected our relationship in terms of funding from the Global Fund. And we had to do a lot of diplomatic work, going to WHO, going to Geneva, in order to restore our relationship with the Global Fund. Mr. Speaker, lastly, members, I have rushed through the grounds because of the time allocated. I have endeavored to provide evidence that all the 11 grounds that are proposed for the impeachment of His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua are merited, and there is enough evidence. The work of this chamber is to examine whether prima facie there is a case. The trial chamber is the Senate. And therefore, I want to plead with members of this House. It doesn't matter whether you signed the motion or you did not sign the motion. I have endeavored to persuade each one of you individually that this country requires a serious leadership. And His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua is not part of that serious leadership. I have endeavored to persuade each one of you that this country requires leaders who can respect the rule of law. This country requires leaders who can respect the Constitution. And His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua is not one of them. And therefore, I take this time to implore on each one of you, besides our political persuasions, to realize that we want the best for our country. This is the country that we shall bequeath to our children. And if the country is destroyed by reckless leaders like His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, there will be nothing to bequeath our future generations. And therefore, persuade each one of you, please vote with your conscience, put Kenya first above your politics when you come to vote. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, members of Parliament, if you listen carefully to His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, and I did say at the time of giving my notice of motion, I have nothing against him as a person. But I was perturbed yesterday because His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua did insult members of Parliament. He insulted the intelligence of members of Parliament. There are members here who are senior lawyers. There are members here who are senior accountants. There are members here who are teachers. There are members here who are accountants. There are members, all of us are respected in our societies. The people of Kenya have elected us to exercise a constitutional mandate in this country. But His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua did say that most of the members of Parliament signed the motion without reading it. That is an insult to your intelligence. His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, in the live interview yesterday, did say that Parliament is a theater of the absurd. In my training as a lawyer, he who insults the jury, he who insults the jury deserves no mercy from the jury. He who insults the jury deserves no mercy from the jury. His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has insulted you before Kenyans. I urge you to rise up to the occasion. I urge you to rise up to the occasion. Uphold all the 11 grounds. Uphold all the 11 grounds. Uphold all the 11 grounds. Mr. Speaker, there is evidence that I have not gone through. The whole issue of Wamunyoro investments and the land in Embakasi. I have evidence in my bundle of documents that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua used his office as the Deputy President, called junior officers at the Ministry of Lands, forced them to forge documents to the effect that Wamunyoro Investment had bought the land in Embakasi long even before it had been registered as a company. That land, Mr. Speaker, belongs to a sickly civil servant. It belongs to a father, it belongs to a mother. Mr. Speaker, we must have a Deputy President who is compassionate. I watched the Deputy President yesterday on television displaying impunity and arrogance. He told Kenya, yes, I have said Kenya is a company, Mutadu. He has said that Kenya is a company. Unapologetically, he has said Kenya is a company. Is this the kind of a person you would want to be your Deputy President? Members of Parliament, I do not want to imagine that anything can happen to the sitting president. I do not want to imagine. But it is also a factual reality that something can happen to the president who is in power today. If anything, and God forbid, happens to the president who is in power today, is this the man you would want to complete the term as president? This man, honorable members, this man called Rigathi Gachagua has already said that the members of parliament in Mount Kenya are either Tugunia, I don't know what that means, or are collaborators, and that he will take them home. He has already said that where I come from, we deserve no development in Ukambani. He has said that the people of Nyanza deserve no development. He has said that the people of Western deserve no development nor appointments from the government. He has said that the people of the coast deserve no development from the government. He has said that the people of Northeastern deserve no development from the government. Those are the people you represent. Those are the people you represent. As you rise up to vote, please have the best interest of your people at heart. I urge you, honorable members, as one of your colleagues. I urge you, honorable members, as one of your colleagues. When this motion is finally put to vote, please vote to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. Please vote to impeach Rigathi Gachagua on all the grounds. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, I am confident that colleague members of parliament will approve this motion. And I want to assure you, in the event that you vote for this motion, I will also persuasively defend it before the Senate. And I am sure the Senate of the Republic of Kenya will also uphold, and Kenya will have a better deputy president who views the country as a whole. With those remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move and call our able deputy majority leader, the Honorable Owen Baya, to second the motion.